Besides boats and planes, China also uses this route to reach Taiwan. The underwater high-speed rail may be used for the upcoming crossing of the strait. China wanted to construct a high-speed rail connecting Taiwan as early as 1997 when Hong Kong was given back to China. Much like Hong Kong and Macao are currently connected, mainland China is as well. Imagine being able to travel from Beijing to Taipei by a high-speed rail across the ocean. The distance between the two sides of the Taiwan Strait in Fujian, China, is just 131 kilometers, yet the high-speed train in China travels at 350 kilometers/h. By high-speed train, it takes less than 20 minutes to get to Taiwan. This may seem far-fetched right now, but China's high-speed rail has been like a dragon awakening during the previous 10 years. The high-speed rail network has expanded at a rate of 70,000 miles, and at this time, no nation can go beyond. Sure, it's a possibility. The undersea high-speed rail project will be the most costly, extensive railroad undertaking in history, and it will be very expensive. The Beijing-Shanghai high-speed rail concept was first put up by China in 2008. Rapid transit. Undoubtedly, this is a challenging project that calls for a wealth of subsea high-speed rail technical expertise. Since the undersea tunnel will be the most expensive and difficult component of the project, even Japan, the United States, Germany, and other nations with early high-speed rail development and somewhat mature technology dare not take on this project. After 2008, China spent all of its resources developing high-speed rail because they thought that building roads was the first step to becoming wealthy. Nearly 30 years have passed since the debut of Japan's first high-speed rail system, the Shinkansen. China's high-speed rail system, despite a tardy start, is now on par with Japan's in terms of sophistication. In order to get the right to develop high-speed rail networks in more than a dozen nations, including Indonesia, Russia, Africa, and Saudi Arabia, China even battled Germany and Japan. The top speed of China's first high-speed rail is 160 kilometers/h. The world's longest high-speed rail line also began operations in 2012. The Beijing-Zhuangzhou high-speed train route cut the distance between the two cities by 8 hours. Since then, China has been working to connect its high-speed rail network to every city. Additionally, first-tier cities have at least 3 high-speed rail stations. How then does China overtake Europe, American, Japanese, and Indian? Well, money is ultimately what matters. A typical kilometer of high-speed rail costs at least $15 million. In comparison to Europe, China has now finished 40,000 kilometers, while another 35,000 are currently being built. With an average cost of 39 million stim and the greatest cost, high-speed rail construction is far more expensive than China. The price of constructing a high-speed rail line in California is just 56 million kilometers. China's cheap regulatory expenses and affordable labor make it an attractive place to do business, despite the country's varied topography, which includes plateaus, deserts, and gorges. The cost is a significant fraction of what it would be in Europe, and the speed of the bullet trains has been steadily increased from their initial 160 kilometers/h to their present 350 kilometers/h. The high-speed rail system that can reach speeds of up to 650 kilometers per hour has been developed well. After completing all of the high-speed rail lines on land, they turned their attention once again to their primary goal, which was to build a high-speed train connection to Taiwan. After this was accomplished, they returned to their original purpose. Before the dream became a reality, the dream was only a daydream. The first requirement is to possess a deep understanding of technology, engineering, and structures that span bodies of water. There is not a single case of an overseas high-speed rail project that was built beneath the water that was a success. In 1988, Japan completed construction of the world's longest tunnel, which featured a tunnel beneath the sea. This astounding feat of engineering took place in Japan. The price was 350 million United States dollars each kilometer, whereas the cost for 33 kilometers was just $70 total. Let's say that the distance between Beijing, China, and Taiwan is 2131 kilometers, and let's also say that the distance between Beijing and Fujian is 2,000 kilometers. The price tag for the structure is estimated to be $3 billion. There is a distance of 131 kilometers that separates Taiwan and Fujian. The construction of the Hong Kong-Macao Bridge alone cost $33 billion. The bridge is 110 kilometers long and contains a tunnel that is 20 kilometers long. According to Japanese pricing guidelines, the cost of the undersea tunnel is $7 billion. At the current exchange rate, the total cost of the project from China to Taiwan will be at least $50 billion in United States money. This project will cost China at least 350 billion renminbi, and the price may go up further. Dreaded thing, China needs to start building bridges to gain expertise, even if they have enough money and require strong core infrastructure. The longest sea crossing bridge in the world is the most well-known Hong Kong-Macao Bridge. There are the trickiest bridges among them. Plan for constructing a passageway beneath the ocean. After completing this remarkable feat, they moved on to working on projects in other cities, such as constructing submarine tunnels and crossing bridges. People from China. In China, the cities are connected to one another via both underground metro systems and high-speed rails that travel across the nation. The high-speed rail link between Beijing and Fujian, which spans a distance of 2,000 kilometers, has already been finished. According to the intended design for the railway, they have also built across the bridge in Fujian. There is a choice between 3 different options, one of which being a direct high-speed rail line to Taiwan that has been reserved in advance. They put in a substantial amount of time, effort, and resources in order to acquire in-depth understanding of subsea engineering. However, because Taiwan did not completely realize the expansion of the mainland, Taiwanese authorities believe that mainland China is unable to finish the plan at that time. This is due to the fact that Taiwan did not fully comprehend the growth of the mainland. Despite the fact that Taiwan believed its growth was picking up speed, it took the island 40 years to electrify its trains. 11 years were required to develop the high-speed rail that travels from Taipei to the island in just 17 minutes. Many people who are familiar with the building of high-speed rail on the mainland are concerned about Taiwan's infrastructure since it must be completed before the high-speed rail link to Taiwan can be completed. In under 9 hours, China was able to extend the high-speed rail station in Fujian with the assistance of 1,500 workers. This region will see the construction of more high-speed rail lines. In spite of the fact that relations between China and the United States have improved, the project is still facing considerable obstacles. During construction of the cross, a high-speed rail project that would connect Taiwan Strait and Fujian, there would be a number of insurmountable obstacles to overcome. The most significant challenges come from the site's position in a region prone to typhoons, as well as the complexity of both construction and maintenance. Beyond the world's longest sea crossing bridge of 55 kilometers, the topography and climatic conditions of the Taiwan Strait provide exceptionally difficult challenges for the design of a bridge to traverse the strait. Because there used to be a route between Fujian, China, and Taiwan, the cross bridge needs to be taken into consideration in order to make it possible for enormous cargo ships weighing 10,000 tons or more to pass through. In addition, Taiwan is located in an area that is prone to earthquakes. Standards for earthquake resistance must be adhered to throughout the construction process. The problem of the natural environment of the ocean is still another one. Because of the significant risk involved, it will be challenging to finish this subsea project, which will have an effect on the surrounding ecosystem regardless of its scope. In addition to that, it will push up the total cost of this significant undertaking. As a result, it is not possible to predict when exactly this massive project will be finished. Write in comments what do you think about this railway. Also, click on this video to watch about another shocking project.